Alright class, so here goes nothing. Your first lesson that you are going to watch at home and take notes in your binder and come to class ready to do some more problems. We're going to do page 5, numbers 2 through 4. I'll do 2 and 3 on the video, you'll do 4 at home, and then we'll do the practice problems in class. So what we need to do, we need to graph the function and its parent function, and then we're going to describe its transformation. To do that, we're going to stay organized and we're going to do a triple T chart. So for number 2, we're asked to do g of x equals x plus 3. Okay, I see that it's a linear function because it's just an x, and you can look at page 4 if you need to be reminded what type of different functions there are. So in my T chart, I'm going to have x, y equals x, which is the parent function, and then y equals x plus 3, which is the question that we have. Remember, g of x and y are interchangeable. I'm going to pick 5 points. The most common and easy to use points are -2, -1, 0, 1, and 2. If I plug that in for x, this one's easy. Y is all the same. Now if I plug it into x plus 3, -2 plus 3 is 1, -1 plus 3 is 2, 0 plus 3 is 3, 1 plus 3 is 4, and 2 plus 3 is 5. Now I have 2 different lines that I'm going to graph. So as neat as you can, and I'll work on making an x and a y axis as I draw sideways more throughout the year. We'll do the first one. -2, 2. So -2 on the x, -2 on the y. -1, 1, so left 1, down 1. 0, 0. 1, 1, so right 1, up 1. 2, 2. 2 on the x, 2 on the y. Here's my 5 points for my parent function. Y equals x. And now I'll graph the question. So we have a point at -2, 1. So -2 and 1 on the y, -1 on the x, and 2 on the y, 0 on the x, and 3 on the y. 1, 2, 3. 1 on the x, 4 on the y, and 2 on the x, and up 5. And here is the question. So I graphed the parent function, I graphed the function that they gave us, and now I need to describe the transformation. This case is actually kind of simple. You can look at this line 2 different ways. Here's our original function, our parent function. To me, it looks like this function went up 2. So I'm going to choose to say that it went up 2. I will tell you some students are going to look at it a little differently, and that's okay. You can also take a look at this parent function and say that it looks like it went left as well, and that is okay. However, if you want to be accurate, you need to figure out how much it went left by, and in my case, oh, I apologize, it went up by 3. I'm sorry, it went up by 3. I already made my first mistake. Get used to it. You're going to make plenty of them as well, and at least I figured it out by checking my work visually. You can actually say that it went left by 3 as long as you know that this is actually a point. So you're going to have to do some extra math that I did not do here. And if you want to say it went left by 3, you're going to have to do that math. But for me to describe it, I'm going to say up 3. And I kind of gave it away because I checked my work. That tells me it went up by 3. All right? Hopefully I do a better job on number 3. At this point, I do suggest you can pause and you can go back and take a look at what I did if you need more help. Chances are, right now, you're along for the ride. All right, number 3. we are going to make a double t-chart again so that we can graph the parent function for x minus 2 squared and then this function as well. So I have x. I notice that this is a squared. It's going to be a quadratic, so the parent function is y equals x squared. And the question that the book is giving us is the quantity of x minus 2 squared. Again, 5 points, simplest things to do. X is -2, -1, 0, 1, and 2. So we go ahead, plug in x over here. X squared, -2 squared is positive 4. -1 squared is positive 1. 0 squared is 0. 1 squared is 1. 2 squared is 4. Now, we have to take x, plug it into the question that the book wants us to do. So, -2 minus 2. I think I'm actually going to do some math for this so that I don't lose anybody. I'm going to plug in -2. -2 minus 2 is -4. And -4 squared is 16. Plug in -1 for x. -1 minus 2 is -3. -3 squared is 9. Plug in 0 for x. 0 minus 2 is -2. -2 squared is 4. Plug in 1. 1 minus 2 is -1. -1 squared is 1. Finally, plug in 2. 2 minus 2 squared is 0. 0 squared is 0. And now I have 2 parabolas that I can draw. Probably going to want to count by 2's now. Looks like my x's don't go much farther than that. But my y's are going all the way up to 16. So 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16. I hope you can see it. If you can't, I guess you're going to tell me tomorrow at school. Doesn't look like I have any negatives on the y-axis, so I'm not going to draw them. Let me draw my parent function first. -2 comma 4, -1 comma 1, 0, 0, 1, 1, and 2, 4. And if you remember, and it's going to be very messy, but you're going to try to be neat, it's a parabola. Make it curvy, put your arrows. All right, now -2 comma 16. So I'll use my other color here. -2, 16 is going to be right here. -1 comma 9. Well, -1 is going to be right here. 9 is going to be here. 0 comma 4. 1 comma 1. Looks like that. And 2 comma 0. So actually it doesn't look like I have much of a parabola here. It looks like I actually have half of a parabola. So I better pick another point and see what happens. Does my curve keep going down? Does it bounce back up? I don't know yet. So I stopped at 2. I don't know what happens at 3. So at 3, I'm going to plug it in right here. 3 minus 2 is 1. 1 squared is 1. So when x is 3, my parabola goes back up to 1. And if you remember about parabolas from Algebra 1, they're symmetrical. So now that I know I'm bouncing back up, I'm going to assume the rest of the parabola looks like that. Be as neat as possible. Alright, so I have my parent function in blue, my new function in green. What does it look like it's doing? If you have a hard time seeing this, take a look at the vertex. Where did the vertex move? So from my vocab list, it moved right. How much did it move right by? Well, my vertex used to be at 0. It's at 2 now. It moved right 2. All right, and I'm actually going to check my work. There's a 2 up there. We'll talk about that later. There you have it. I want you to try number 4. Go back. If you need help filling in the t-chart, seeing what I did over here, please rewind. Try number 4 and then move on to the next video.